Joining me now for more is South Carolina Congressman Ralph Norman. Congressman, good morning. Good to see you.
Great to be with you, Rob and Charlotte.
So here's the headline from NBC News. Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene files motion to oust Mike Johnson as Speaker. Johnson formally took over in November, and you are mentioned. Congressman Ralph Norman remained non-committal on a motion to vacate, saying he wants to hear a plan from Greene for who would take over as Speaker if Johnson is ousted. Explain that.
Well, you know, we learned before, Rob, that it's a lengthy process, and you know, we went through what, 5, 6 candidates, and personally, I don't think that while I disagree with what Speaker Johnson did on the budget, that's history now. It's signed into law. We're going to, you know, spin this country into oblivion, which I disagree with. But I would not vote to vacate Mike Johnson. He's a good man. I think he's listening to the wrong people on some of his decisions, but it's a totally different situation that we had with Kevin McCarthy. Kevin had this brewing for a long time. He had trust issues. Speaker Johnson does not have a trust issue. He listens to people, and you know, you get to say what you want, but it's not a trust. I trust what he says. Now, I hate he did what he did on the budget, but I would not, and I don't think the motion to vacate is the right, particularly now. We got an election coming up. We're going to be out for 2 months near the election, and one in August, and I think one in October. But that's not the turmoil this country needs right now. And the other thing, who would want the job?
Yeah.
I know of no one right now.
Okay, so if a motion to vacate does hit the floor, you'd be a no vote on it.
Correct. I would be a no vote.
Okay, because it seemed like you were non-committal last week. Have you talked to Marjorie Taylor Greene? Does somebody need to have a conversation with her? Because to me, we're what, 220 days away from November the 5th? Really important election. And this is not good for the Republican Party if the GOP in the House tries to do this again and gets rid of Mike Johnson because a small fraction of members disagree with what he did on Friday to try and move the country forward.
Well, I mean, talking to Marjorie, I mean, she makes her own decisions, as each of us do. We're independent agents, and she did what she wanted to do. Now, she was totally against the ouster of McCarthy. And so I think some of this may come from that. I don't really know. I haven't talked to her, and she does what she wants to do, which is fine. But she's not going to get the support that I know of. Again, most people, I think, understand that it's a turmoil when you try to pick a new speaker. You've got to have a speaker to operate the House. Now, the differences are aside. We'll argue that out later on as they come up. But we got to keep the House open and the lights on, and a lot of things that have nothing to do with policy, but have to do with just the inner workings of Congress. And we need to have a speaker. And again, Mike is a good man, and he's honest, and so I like him.
So, Congressman, fine. You represent your district back in South Carolina. Marjorie Taylor Greene represents her district in Georgia. But you're all still part of a conference, and you vote together a lot of the time to pass legislation and advance it to the Senate in hopes that it reaches the president's desk. So in that sense, you have to work together here. I'm wondering if you could take me through what's going on with the GOP in the House right now. Your colleague, Mike Gallagher, Wisconsin, just 40 years old, announced that he's going to leave. He's not going to serve the next 224 days to the end of his term. He's going to abandon you, just like Kevin McCarthy abandoned you. Ken Buck abandoned you, and you voted to oust George Santos. Your majority is now 1, which is really sad. What's going on with the conference?
Well, if you know the people that are leaving us, and they're putting America at risk by doing that. All the ones, unless it's for health reasons, which it's not for any of the people you named. Now, McCarthy was just mad, I think, because he lost his speakership. He did that to himself. Ken Buck, I can't explain his actions. Same thing with Gallagher. And to throw George Santos out, I voted against that. Let the people in New York decide that. He was a vote for a Republican speaker. And it's just with those ones that are leaving us, I don't understand it. And why would you put this country at risk?
Yeah.
And which is what they're doing.
15 seconds, Congressman. You think that Mike Johnson keeps his job?
Absolutely, he will keep his job.
Okay, Congressman Ralph Norman, we appreciate you waking up with us this morning. Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right. Lots